Is that part of the role now, having to find sponsors for your team?
A little bit. In the initial phases, we were asked if there was anyone in particular we wanted to go after, but more so the charity partner. I've chosen the Royal Flying Doctor Service as the charity partner. I think there's $50,000 on the line for the winning teams to distribute between the charity partners. So it's nice to be able to bring a WA charity into the fold.
Why did you want to be involved in the first place?
It's a good question. When they came to me, the AFL, they basically said, we're going to put you in charge of a team. You get to select from the best players in the competition, play on one night at Marvel Stadium and then go out afterwards and have a bit of a party. All prize money is going to go to charity. I couldn't really see anything wrong with getting involved. I didn't get to do AFLX last year. I'm keen to have a go at the concept. I've got some nervousness around it like everyone else does, but I think we would be missing an opportunity if we didn't try and venture into new avenues of our game.
What makes you nervous about it?
I think there's potentially an audience looking at it thinking this is a bit gimmicky. There'll be no following from this. Like the team's called the Flyers, which is a bit different to our meat and potatoes team names that we have across the AFL. The target market is kids, so the marketing and everything around it looks a little bit different and a little bit tricked up. But I think there's so much upside potentially with where this format can go. Not so much what it's going to be on February 22nd, but more so what the next 5 years looks like for AFLX.
Do you think you're putting your brand and your reputation on the line being part of this sort of format?
I think so, a little bit, as is Patrick Dangerfield, Eddie Betts and Jack Rewalt. Part of my stipulation of being involved was that the best players in Australia were playing, and I've seen a list of the people they've selected to play in this concept, and it's only the best players. So this has the support of the AFL players. I can see why people are looking at it thinking this is not a good idea. Players might be putting themselves at unnecessary injury risk going into the season. Why aren't you focusing on playing for your team? But I can tell you, having just run around a 10K pre-season session, any opportunity I can get to get out and play competitive footy against the other best players in Australia, I'll be taking.
Who's on top of the wish list?
Top of the wish list. There's a few there. I think Marcus Bontempelli would be one I want to play with. Patrick Cripps, Scotty Pendlebury. I think Elliot Yeo from across town. He's lowered my colours in derbies a couple of times, so to have him playing for the Flyers would be a good thing. But maybe a guy like Cade Simpson for some leadership, Joel Selwood. Who do you reckon I should have in my team?
I don't know, Dusty would be up there.
Dusty would be up there. I bumped into Dusty in Costa Rica in the off-season actually and asked him if he was getting involved, and he was a little bit sceptical at that stage, so hopefully we can get him over the line and playing.
Were players given the opportunity to opt out of the list of players compiled?
Yeah, definitely. It was more so the players were asked to opt in. Do you want to be involved? There is a match payment for all players being involved, but that's just the cost of doing business. But as I said, most players are looking around at who else is playing and going, well, if he's playing, I'm playing. Or more so, if he's playing, I don't want to miss out on the opportunity. And like I said, I think we need to be open-minded, not looking at what this is going to be on February 22nd. Just look at where this can potentially go in 5-6 years' time. When I'm coming out of the game, if there's an opportunity to be still playing concept footy, I think that'd be great.
What do you think it can go? Do you think if they take it overseas, is that something they're talking about? Or?
Yeah, the international expansion is something they're looking at for that medium to long term. It's a tough play. We have got a native game which is only really known here in Australia. But I think what they're trying to do might give us that opportunity to be able to spread to the near countries, Indonesia, China, Japan, those sorts of countries. But it would be awesome if we could take the best players in the game and be playing 5-6 round pre-season almost at the end of the year or before the start of the year, where there's franchise teams owned by owners potentially with big sponsorship, and more opportunities for players to be expressing their skills rather than being stuck doing pre-season for 7 months of the year.
People might say, if all the best players can be available, why can't we have State of Origin instead and they can be available for that?
Yeah, that's a good argument. I think State of Origin sort of died a natural death because the best players weren't playing, because it was a full-length game. There was that standard injury risk. The idea with AFLX, I think players are only going to be playing about 30 minutes of footy in this concept. There won't be a lot of contact. I won't be telling my team to be tackling or going back with the flight of the ball or even doing those really hard, long chase outs. It's more about skill, it's about structure, it's about the high marks, the freakish goals, the stuff that you wouldn't see at a stock standard regular season AFL game. And I think the smaller numbers opens the door potentially to start the discussion around the State of Origin footy again at some stage.
Do you ever want to play State of Origin?
I'm a fence sitter with State of Origin. If it was on and the best players were playing, then definitely I'd be in. But I have no great desire to represent Western Australia. I got to do that at under 18 level.
Are you going to divide up the teams yet? Is there a draft system in
There's
place?
a draft that'll be on the 6th or 5th of February, and it'll be like a standard draft. We'll sit in the room. There'll be a draw to decide who gets first round or first pick, second, third and fourth, and then it'll go reverse order from there. And we will be list managed. I think we get 60 seconds per selection. Hopefully I'll have a vice captain by then. I know who that is, but I can't let you know just yet, and we'll be able to decide who we want from across Australia.
Will that trial be televised?
The draft will be televised at some level. It might be recorded and then released later.
Yeah, okay.
It's a good question as well. I'm not sure exactly on the coaching. We'll have a strength and conditioning coach, we'll have a head physio, we'll have all the usual preparation things that you would require for a game. How do I think? I've got no idea. Maybe this format will suit me, maybe it won't. That's what I'm really open-minded about and keen to give it a go. If I try it sucks, I'll write it off, but I'm open-minded at this stage.
Did you format suit Ross's coaching style, do you think?
Not at all. No, I don't think he's got a future in AFLX coaching.
How's your team going out here at the moment, this stage of pre-season?
I think we're going okay. We're implementing game plan, getting fit, which is what every other team in the country is doing. We've got a big role in trying to galvanise everyone and build relationships. That's taking centre stage at the moment, but everything's tracking in the right direction.
How do you go about building those relationships?
We have a number of sort of on and off field activities designed to get guys to get to know each other on deeper level, and hopefully that relationship creates a tangible advantage when we go out and play together. We've got guys from all over the country that have represented other teams and have decided they want to come back and play for Fremantle, which is a great thing. And we've got another 60 odd days to get ready for round one and have us all gelling together.
If you'd like to talk about the optimism within the group for the coming season, is finals back on the agenda from your perspective?
Craig. Yes, always on the agenda. I'm an eternal optimist. But you've got no measuring stick at this stage of the pre-season. You do all the hard work, you implement your game plan. You might have a session like today where we move the ball really well and everyone feels great about themselves, and you'll think that it'll be hard to get beaten. But until we actually come up against an opposition side, we won't really know how we're sitting in the pecking order, but always optimistic.
Do the guys that have come in from other clubs, do you feel like they've given you, I don't know, maybe more faith that you can go and push towards that finals, possibly in structured better team balance or something?
Potentially. I mean, some of the young guys always lean on the guys that have played big finals games and in premierships, been at good systems, and ask them what are they doing that we're not, how can we get better? So I'm sure there's some IT that's been shared amongst players.
What's your plan for where you play this? You lock you out and Jesse in. Does it impact on whether you're more forward, or mid or mid forward?
I don't think so. I think I will play my normal role.
You've got the Ron style arm sleeve there, Nat. What's that all?
This is to support the Gronk in the NFL today. No, actually, I've got a bit of a inflamed bursa in my elbow, so nothing serious.
Jesse, how's he tracking? He seems like he's running a fair bit.
Yeah,
He's involved a bit more.
Jess is going good. He started being drip fed into drills the last couple of days, and he will look to be in full training in the coming weeks.